I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I've never done it. I don't know if you guys have been, but it'd be interesting. You know, go ahead with the market and it explodes. That was the Bailey's. I'm looking forward to it. It's all items. Yeah, I said, there's so much in this country. New Zealand.
And I don't want to get out. So it gives me. So I think I will. If it's good weather, I'm set up and ready to go out there and light a match. I know. So I. Thanks for that. Yeah.
3 minutes. Yeah, it's from Germany. It's like, so we were supposed to have it tonight. It's like, she said it's not like. We're gonna play Tyson.
Tyson's. Oh, let's go. I would like to get up.
Play Tyson on this.
Yes. Yes. Oh.
You're welcome. Yeah, I was gonna just watch. Wow.
Yes. Well, these are just, yeah. Okay, she's.
Chick-fil-A sits there. I imagine Kevin David would get on there and say, if you want these things, you need to buy a piece of property.
You need something.
Comments.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, maybe they're too calm, I don't know, you need somebody to really.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah. I would say at least half, if not greater, of people, citizens, they have absolutely no idea that he does. Yeah. Right, at 6 o'clock. Sorry, we actually have to wait till the time we posted, so. I'll call this Pleasant View City Council meeting to order this Tuesday, April 22nd, 2025. Again, at 6 o'clock. Welcome, everybody. It's actually nice to have people sitting there to talk to instead of just talking to a microphone. So appreciate you being here. I will start with the Pledge of Allegiance and opening prayer reading or expression of thought by Councilmember Harrington.
Will you please join me before the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. Our Father in heaven, we're thankful that we could gather together tonight as a city council and mayor and administration. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to make decisions for this great community. And we pray that we'll be guided, that we'll be able to have the insight and also just be able to see things that are coming down the line that will help us make best decisions. We're so grateful that we could be honoring Stetson tonight and grateful for him and also all the service that our police force puts in for us and for this community to keep us safe. And we're grateful for their sacrifices for us. And we pray that we'll be able to have a good night tonight and that our families will be well, that we'll find all well as we return home. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I'll mention that we excuse two of our council members. Bill Nelson is away, I believe, in Texas to work, and Steve is on a deserved vacation to Germany, or parts thereabouts, so. But the other three of you showed up, so we could have a meeting. We're just here. All right, item 1B, declaration of conflicts of interest. Have you read the agenda? Is there any conflicts to declare?
No.
Seeing none, we'll move to 1C, public comments or questions of the mayor and council. Anybody wish to address the mayor or the council? Seeing none, we'll move to item 2, appointment of police chief. Discussion and possible action to authorize Mayor Call to make the appointment of the police chief. So the way this works is I bring forth a name to the council, and with the advice and consent of the council, we appoint a police chief. The name I brought forward to the council this time is Stetson Talbot. Stetson, if you could come up, appreciate it. I can say I've known Stetson at least 7 years. As a lot of you know, I have a real soft spot for public safety as a whole, police and fire, and it's a great honor and opportunity for me to bring this name forward to the council. I would like Stetson to take a moment, maybe introduce his family, and just take a moment to tell us what about your career, what got you to this point here, how it started and so on. So if you'd start with your family. Yes, please.
I've been married 15 years. She's a nurse up there in the health department. Been asked for her. When I went on the LDS mission, my mission was when you get home, marry somebody that will live with you. I haven't done a lot of things since I've never lived, but I will do that. They are. My wife said, you know, I'm paying the price for all the things you do.
That mother's curse.
So, a little bit about my career. So, like I said,
Stetson, pull that mic up a little bit. Or hold it in hands. Is it on?
Oh, yeah, flip it on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're probably
Okay.
okay. And-
So like I said, I went on a mission, and I got, prior to that, I did construction with my dad, and I kind of wanted to go down that road path in life. I really liked running equipment and doing that kind of stuff. And I got home, and in 2008 and 9, the housing market was not very good, and there was not a lot going on. And I actually went to lunch with Brad Slater, and he got asked what I was going to do, and I didn't know. And he's like, hey, why don't you go through the police academy? And so Brad was very influential in helping me get into the police academy and go through the police academy. And I went on a couple ride-alongs with my uncle, Jason, in the county, and we were assigned to Terrace, so we were busy when I went with him. And I kind of fell in love with it, and I went from there. I started off in the jail working in booking with Lance Donaldson's wife, Julie. And I love Lance and his wife. I call them my work parents. They've been right by my side throughout my whole career. I worked in the jail for a while I was going through the academy and just out of the academy, and I worked part-time and reserved with Harrisville City. I got on full-time with Harrisville City. Chief Max Jackson hired me. Right after getting on full-time at Harrisville, I came here part-time. As soon as I got off FTO, I worked for Pleasant View. So I've worked for Pleasant View most of my entire career. Did a couple of years with Harrisville, and then I came up here to Pleasant View full-time. Scott Jackson hired me, and I look back on those times, and I'm so thankful that Scott did that, because I really love Pleasant View, and I really love working here. I did patrol in Pleasant View for a few years. Some of the greatest times of my life were in patrol. I love patrol. Patrol's the heart and soul of the department. it's the face of the department, and I'm pretty passionate about patrol and did that for a few years, and then I went into investigations. I worked detectives for a long time, and I still, right up until now, I've handled a caseload. I love the investigation side of things. I love working cases, and I did that and I can't remember the year, but I got promoted to patrol sergeant, which was one of my favorite assignments that I've had so far. Patrol sergeant, being able to bring along young officers and work with other officers and it's been great. After that, I was promoted to lieutenant. A lieutenant here in Pleasant View, you do administration and you carry a caseload. So it was kind of fun to get back into the investigations and carry a caseload and get involved in the administrative side of it. I've loved all of it. I've loved my career. I've been very blessed. I've had opportunities. I've had great leaders. I have to recognize Max Jackson for picking me up and bringing me into this career. It's been amazing. Scott for bringing me up here, and then about 10 years ago, Ryan Hadley came up here, and I owe a lot to Ryan. He taught me a lot of great things about leadership. He taught me to work hard, to respect people, to respect those that work for you, and I owe a lot to him. That's kind of how my careers went.
Thank you. That's awesome. I had an opportunity to, on Friday, it was the Sheriff's Award banquet, and I was invited to it and went and had opportunity to talk to, Brad Slater, who you said was instrumental, and he asked me, where, you know, you guys getting close to a chief up there or whatever? And I mentioned to him, he was elated. He was like, you're making a great choice. And I really respect Brad and son Kylie's here in the audience here supporting you.
Yeah, we went through the academy together. So
Good man, both. So, so council, questions, comments? If not.
I'm just gonna make a comment. I've enjoyed working with Stetson from the time I started here, which hasn't been all that long, but just you're highly respected, and we're excited about what we're doing tonight, and we appreciate all you do.
We're excited to have you on, Stetson. I've known you for quite a long time as well, and you've really stepped up to the plate, and I've been really impressed with your drive and your integrity and your willingness to serve Pleasant View City and respond to all the inquiries and the good, the bad, and the ugly. But anyway, we really appreciate you, and we're excited to have you lead the department.
thank you.
Stetson, has been very responsive. Anytime I brought something to him from the community or whatever, we've tried to face a challenge. He's been really responsive to that. We've worked individually with citizens over even just small things. That's meant a lot to me that you've been so responsive to our requests. And again, like Dave said, you just have a lot of respect also from the rest of the squad. So I'm excited for you to serve in this capacity.
Thank you.
I don't remember the date. Maybe Ryan could help me. I don't remember when you retired, Ryan. Was it October? Yeah.
September, he retired in September.
September, the end of September?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the past 7 months, Stetson has been interim chief. And you know, he's been being observed. To see how he handled it and so I personally could try to make the decision whether to advertise and look and see what's out there. It's my belief that it takes a really, 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 really good candidate, and there might be somebody out there better than Stetson, but I doubt it. Okay. He's proved himself to go outside and bring somebody else in. It's done a lot, and sometimes it's needed, sometimes it's good. In this case, it's not needed, and this time it's not good. I think staying in-house and especially with a person with the ethics and the qualities and the leadership, Stetson is the right choice, and that's why I bring his name to you tonight. Yes, please.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we appoint Stetson Talbot as Pleasant View Chief of Police.
I will second that motion.
Okay, motion in a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations.
There we go.
Is it okay if I just say a couple things?
You betcha.
So I just want to thank you for this opportunity. Like I said earlier, I love Pleasant View. I love Pleasant View Police Department. I'm very loyal to Pleasant View. And I take this responsibility very serious and I don't want to let you down, and I'll do the very best job that I can do. I want to thank, they're watching, I think, and I want to thank my parents, my mom and dad. My mom taught me growing up. She's the least judgmental person that you'll ever meet. She taught me that, and that's been very, very important part of my law enforcement career with everybody that we deal with in the worst times of their life. And I can thank her for that. My dad's taught me my work ethic, to work very hard. I want to thank everybody that's here to support me. Kylie, we go clear back. We started this journey together. Some of the greatest times of my career was on the homicide task force with Brian Schultz. I remember when Pleasant View got our first homicide in a long time. I was a brand new detective, like on my second day as a detective, and I had no idea what was going on, no idea what to do. And I went down to Primary Children's Hospital where the baby was, and I'll never forget Brian Schultz coming up to me and he held my hand through the entire case till the day the guy was sentenced, and I could never repay him for that. Last but not least, I want to thank our crew. I want to thank the guys that work for Pleasant View Police Department, because they're, you know, I'm up here today, but they're the ones that make this thing run. They're the ones that protect this city. And I want them to get as much or more credit than I do, because they're what's really important. And I hope that we all get opportunities to see them and thank them, because they're the ones that are out there in the trenches protecting the city. And again, I appreciate everybody for this opportunity.
I also would, after his, that's not his laugh, thank the guys and gals of this police department and this administration to see, come out here and support him, and especially for all that you do. We do have an amazing department. We have a bunch of top-notch individuals working for us, and I'm tickled actually to finally get this done and make this happen. So thank you all for coming. We have a lot more on the agenda, but you probably don't.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
But you're certainly welcome to stay if you'd like. And yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, so please sign the roll. We need it for the official minutes. And Stetson, if you would like to leave or need to leave, feel free. We're.
Thank you. No, that's good. I got some on his little video. You know, our Facebook page has a lot of videos and
Oh, really?
it's weird. For that official thing, let me do that. See you. Thank you. No, that's fine.
He's been.
Lady that was suspecting, you know.
All right. We'll move to item 3, education conference approval, discussion and possible action to allow the city administrator to attend the Utah APA conference in Logan.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve, city administrator to attend the Utah APA conference in Logan.
I'd like to know what APA stands for. Okay.
I
Uh,
second that motion.
Motion by Arrington, second by Yuri. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Do we have anybody else attending that? Is it?
Is any of the
Is Tammy going?
Yeah, should she be going?
It'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I'll go to them.
Okay, item 4 is contract approval, discussion possible consideration to approve the pickleball contract with EK Bailey in the amount of $687,712. Tyson?
So what you have before you is the contract. We're just trying to get it official so we can move forward with the design portion. We couldn't find record that this had made it back after the bid awards and such. So this should be the piece to keep things moving.
Yeah, they're anxious to get going, so.
There are 3 cleanup items from the attorney.
Okay.
He reviewed it, but they're contact and some timelines. So
And we've been meeting with Tyson and going over the budget and going over all the things, so
For the pickleball court?
for the pickleball courts, yes, Ann and I, and Andrea and Tyson and Mayor and stuff, so I'm meeting with Brent. set up regular meetings, so it'll be good.
So this is a design build, so a little different than what we normally do. So this is kind of the first step to get it going down the road, so
Right.
we can start
So-
building pickleball courts.
So previously we awarded the bid to
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now we're
Now
just
formalizing
approving the
contract.
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 Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
With the three changes from the attorney.
Yeah,
Do we
we're,
need to make that in the motion as well?
yeah, can we talk about what those are or just quick or are they?
So there's the start date on page 1.
finish.
And then there's the city administrator being changed from Amy maybe to Andrea Zweifel.
Okay.
12-month
The third one
timeline.
was just the completion of work, because they have it within a period of time not to exceed 12 months. And the only issue with that is that it conflicted with the August 1st date. So if you change the August 1st date to be out, to allow 12 months, then that doesn't need to be changed.
So we just need to change it to the,
So this is the project shall be completed no later than August 1st. So we can't give them 12 months and expect them to finish on August 1st.
Yeah, so,
So the completion date needs to be changed.
Yes.
push out the completion date.
which we're not planning on that, so, right? I mean, it could be, but we're
Yeah.
planning to be done
Yeah.
well in advance.
Yeah, they're chomping at the bit right now to go.
Okay.
So
Okay. Entertain a motion.
Sarah, you want to do it this time? I feel like I always do this one.
Oh, no, you're fine.
To give you some love
Okay.
there.
So Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the pickleball contract with EK Bailey in the amount of $687,712 with the staff notes, from the attorney.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Yuri, second by Harrington. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, yeah, let's get a meeting scheduled for first everybody.
Where's the shovel? Let's keep going.
Okay, item 5A is discussion of possible action to award the Stormwater's 2025 capital improvement project and additive alternative 2 bid to MJM Construction Incorporated in the amount of $1,535,442.78. That's pretty specific. Tyson, I assume there's not a name on here, but
These are. So this is the 2025 capital improvements for stormwater. So it has several components to it. There's the 400 west. The goal is to add the storm drain from the existing pond for the uphill upstream impacts. So that's your stormwater impact improvement. And then there's several maintenance items. They're throughout town, either dangerous structures, 800 west, the reroute to remove it from the backyards.
That's that whole project, the whole thing.
That's part of this project.
Okay.
It's different funds. It's coming out of your standard maintenance.
well, I'm glad to see project though that's using some,
So you're saying
So the main,
total amount is not coming all out of the same funds, the stormwater capital?
no, so there's a water
Impact fee.
transfer project in here.
yeah.
They're doing the joint work attached to the 400 west, because water was already looking at abandoning the 4-inch main out on Alberta. So they're gonna take off any services on the old main and jumper them to the existing 8 and kill another couple blocks of that original 4-inch main. And then there's the additional 4 other stormwater projects that are more of maintenance items. It's budgeted for, and this will help us expend the funds before we lose any of them.
Yeah, just the impact fee have expiration date on them basically, so it's good to get, that's what I was saying, it's good to get this project going with some of those funds, so.
So if we award this, will they be able to do them all this year? Or?
Yes, we did confirm with that group that they can handle this capital project and the sewer project, because they're the recommended bid for the sewer project as well. And the next item.
Yeah, which is the next item.
So I don't see that total though. It's a different amount on the MJM, right?
Well, there's two.
Is it the,
Cause we're showing the 1.5 million. This one's showing 1.4 on the total price. Is that correct? I'm on page
the
5.
base? Yeah,
Page
1.4.
Then you have the addition.
The 98,000.
There's the last page. that-
Oh, okay. The
So-
229.
Oh, okay, 98,000.
Oh, gotcha.
Add that to the one.
An alternate two's the ravine that's connected to the 400 West Pond. So when we were evaluating the ravine, just here off Alberta, it's being washed out with, the concrete, and I don't know if we attached. So the plans are your next few pages.
Yeah, it shows the map,
It's all
the
your
map.
project area.
Is that the Schedule A, Schedule B? Is that the one you're
Yes.
talking about? Okay.
Yeah, and we talked about how we need to add the names to each one of those, but
That makes sense.
late. Yeah, each item is attached.
Is the
to those.
ravine a
Yeah.
part of Schedule A then? Or no? That's 400 West. I don't see it on here. Oh, there it is.
Right here. with
Yeah.
The schedules.
Yeah, it's Schedule F is what it is.
So we'll rebuild where your discharge is coming out of you got a pretty big drop off on the south side of Alberta. And the discharge there, I don't know who, they were dumping concrete for what looks like, probably before I was alive, and most of it's been washed out and sort of undermining, and so we're gonna add some gabion walls to formalize that bank of Alberta. Cause that's your right of way, and the cities pick up the ravines, and it is regulated waterway. So we had to do some additional permitting to get this project in that area. And then there's a storm drain vault that it's overgrown and it's an older style, and when you have those big flood moments, the work up on 400 in the pond with the diversion will help. But the way that structure's built, when you have those high flows and it plugs off, it jumps over the storm drain and then goes, it's like it's aimed right at the back door of the house that's down on PV Drive.
It sits
Mm.
way back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That was one of the
older
first
brick
calls, was
one.
brand new mayor. It's like,
Yep, yeah, it had his
Yeah.
steps.
it's
and-
taken 7.5 years to get to fixing it. So,
So we're gonna rebuild that structure and add a little emergency stop wall sort of to catch it if it gets plugged off, and then the angle and how it's coming in should help that as well. We'll have
So
a couple factor backup.
to budget here, I mean, we have the money, capital improvement project, but it's budgeted similar, I mean, in line with this or no?
Yeah, so this,
Does it leave any money in excess or just this take it all?
so the water came in under significantly. I think we had 350 in that line item, and I didn't have the time to break it out individually. Yeah, the water was,
What came under budget?
yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
And then there's some adjustments for some of the items, but our overall balances and the impact fee, with changes we've made in other projects will handle it. And this is the whole project we have ready to spend those funds.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we award the stormwater 2025 capital improvement project and additive alternative 2 bid to MJM Construction for the amount of 1.5 million, well, 1,535,442.78.
I'll second that motion.
Should have just said.
motion by Mary, second by Yuri. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 5B is discussion of possible action to award the sewer replacement along Highway 89 budget lane. Budget lane?
Is it budget or budge?
Bud,
But
Budget
Okay.
lane to Pleasant View Drive budget project bid to MJM construction in the amount of $419,378. Yeah.
I was sure in a hurry, I just fingered it over, so.
And this is part of the other, they're going to take care of this.
So,
in conjunction with,
We did these two separate, cause where we're running along Highway 89 with all the fiber lines, your setback rules from Bona Vista's water mains, we felt that bursting would be the better option. And it did end up coming in not significantly, but cheaper. So we're gonna move forward presenting the award for bursting the main. So we'll bypass pump while they're basically pulling the new main, larger size main in through the old concrete.
so that's what bursting is.
Yes. So it basically has a head that splits your existing main as you're pulling in your new line, so you
So
don't have
just
to.
get rid of the
just
old one
dirt
and
buster.
put the new one in at the same time.
Yep, they say it's that easy. I'm sure that's how that'll go.
Well,
Is it it's a bigger main though, when they do that?
Yes.
so it literally bursts it because it's bigger.
Yeah, and then it has a split head, so you're pulling it in by a cable, or there's a couple of different methods and. But the ones I've witnessed, you have a cable, you string it through to your next manhole. You're feeding your main in, and they've sort of fused the head. And it's just got sort of like a broadhead arrow.
Yeah.
That's what the tip is, and so it's splitting the old main and creating more room.
You
And
don't
then
have
they
to,
set the manholes around that and clean it up and grout it. Just like if you.
so you have
laid
to
it in a
dig up,
trench.
do you have to dig up at the manhole to do that? Or the junction,
Yeah, there's some big points and,
okay, interesting.
but it gets you out of risking hitting those
Yeah.
fiber trunk lines, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're already in our existing, you can't, there's not enough room in the right of way to shift around and redig the trench and fit without going after additional easements.
Is MJM a local company? What company is that? I
From
meant
what
to
we
ask that
gathered,
earlier.
they do a lot of work in Ogden, and
Okay,
Also, I was just curious,
We
what's the timeline on this project, on the 89 one? Did they kind of say?
yes, this one they're contracted because we're trying to beat the impact fee deadline as well. So I don't think I put any of that in here. I can pull it up if you want it, but yes, they have a timeline that we're trying to hit the July 1.
Okay,
I think it's the July 1 dates to have it expended by.
okay.
And they were aware of that, so that was the key when realizing that the same company was the low bid on the two items, was calling, and they took a couple days to vet with their team if they were awarded both, that they'd have the capacity. So for that one, they're gonna get started, sounded like get set up, get things moving, and then they'll mobilize their crew and start into the capital plan one.
Cool. Thanks for doing all this work on this, Tyson.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, this should get us in a good place, and this was the last of the capital facility projects that was still applicable. And so we'll move into rebuilding and identifying years worth of more capital projects next, so.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the sewer replacement along Highway 89, Budge Lane to Pleasant View Drive to MJM Construction for the amount listed.
Motion by Marriott, second by Yuri. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, voting aye. Item 6, agreement approval, discussion and possible consideration to approve contract number 25-LM-41-0760 license agreement between the United States of America and Pleasant View City for the future 500 West water line crossing of the Ogden Brigham Canal. Tyson, that's a mouthful.
I was intrigued with the United States of America. Okay.
So, yeah, that's
The Department of the
who
Interior.
controls the High Line Canal, so Pine View operates, I don't know how it works all. technically, but it's DOR owns all land, and then your water company is sort of operating it for them essentially. So that's the private property, United States government signs that you'll see like on 500. That's where those come from, is it's the United States. While we were working through the abandonment project, design, we found that we didn't have a disagreement for the two existing water mains under the canal. So we vetted through, submitted this project information to the BOR, and this is what they returned, and it goes over the terms of running that bore under the canal for that future project. So we paid our $100, and these are the terms they give you to work through, and they all look pretty standard. Clean up when you're done. You're gonna have somebody on site when the project, and here's who you're gonna coordinate with. And this did not go to legal, assuming that I didn't assume the United States government doesn't negotiate per se. I've heard that. And
Probably good
it
assumption.
was pretty standard, and it's what we would do if somebody was crossing ours, is you're gonna watch it and clean up after yourself, and
Okay.
and if there are damages, you'd be responsible, which is standard with any other utility crossing.
Tells you the,
So why do we need the crossing there?
So that'll come in the future. We don't have that agreement for any of our crossings, so partially to update that, so we're telling them we're abandoning two old water mains that go under the canal currently that we don't want. And then we'll upsize for 500 West and future growth, and then this will abandon the future project, and we'll have to bring that to you for approval and budget for it, for that matter. But this will have it where we have the right to do it, so we
Yeah.
won't be hung up on
It's not,
this.
having to do
Right.
this again.
This has been almost a year's
Just to get
work,
this, yeah.
just getting this permit agreed for you, so.
It's just a permit. There's no fee to it. There's.
It was $100, and we
Okay,
already,
all right.
made that payment to them.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the contract and license agreement as listed in item 6 in the agenda.
I'll second that. I do have a question though.
tell me.
These maps, are they, that show this, are they original? Cause they say Plainview City. Is that,
Where you at?
I don't know if,
Exhibit.
I don't, yeah,
Exhibit A, actually, it does say Plainview City
I don't know if
at the
that's,
top of the title of the map, at the top.
I don't know if that comes right out of the, probably not. That's probably just the exhibit,
Salt
right?
Lake Basin.
I can check that it's not a problem.
I
with
don't
that
know that
group, But I
matters.
don't know
Yeah,
if
it's
it
still
would.
this-
Everything else
Yep.
is.
That might be
done.
the name of it because just the township and section of it. I mean, it's kind of interesting. that it shows
Yeah,
that.
and all the pictures themselves are showing the appropriate.
The
Somebody
location.
mistitled it.
Maybe just make a notation that if that needs to be correct, that it's for Pleasant View City, even though it says Plainview City. I think it should, yes, sir.
Yeah, I can message them and ask if that's gonna make for a problem and how quickly they can correct it.
Well, we can make it subject to that. Or subject to.
In that
If they-
motion,
if you-
just, okay. Just with the caveat on my motion that Tyson will circle back and make sure that the label on the maps is appropriate or if it needs to be changed.
Good on the second?
I'm good. Yep, second.
Okay, any further? This doesn't need to be a roll call, does it? All in favor, say aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Plainview City sounds like a combined.
Yeah.
It
combined
does.
Police department.
Yeah.
Item
does.
7, award bid, discussion possible consideration to award the sewer maintenance to J Solutions. Tyson.
And they have our name right everywhere else, sorry. We put out the maintenance contract, J Solutions is the low bid, they came in. Sorry, I'm not switching fast enough. They came in at 45 cents for each pipe size. Some companies that do that type of work, you know, they'll give you a different price. That was the case with the Val Cotter bid. So the overall cost per foot. So we come in, we clean, they're charging the 45 cents linear foot. And then you send the camera in 45 cents a linear right behind them. We're gonna look to match our maintenance budget for the 4 separate zones that the city sewer systems broke down in. And start planning it up based off of that.
So do they just go in and like take pictures, or do they actually like, it looks like they clean and? I mean, what,
So the first nozzle they send through is the cleaning nozzle. So that, you know, if you had a collapsed main, they'd run into it and then you'd send a camera in premature. They start seeing roots come back or pieces of the pipe because they're at the next manhole down.
Mhm.
And so they're working that through. So, and then if you run into roots, it's basically a saw nozzle for the 8-inch pipe. And as the water pressure is jetting through, it's turning that saw and it cuts the roots out as it forces it up pipe. So they do all that, ensure that the line's clean, and then the inspection comes in after. And you get a report breakdown based off of our manhole numbers, point to point. Here's where a lateral comes in. You have a break, a crack, a fracture. And then we match those up and add them to our GIS mapping now. They've added that recently where we take the report, because you used to have to just thumb through the 900-page book and just pull out the ones with damages or anything you wanted to repair. And then you'd come back and make a maintenance, a repair, whether they had to excavate or not.
So this, is that an annual requirement that we have to go inspect all the sewer lines?
So your goal is under the 5-year, you've touched the whole system. So normally, before all the growth, we were hitting, you do the majority of the zones through each year, so can only do 3/4 with 50,000 of zone 1. And so then next year you'd start zone 2, finish up zone 1. Take zone 2 as far as you could. And then your 4th or your 5th year, you're kind of cleaning up the tail end of zone 4. But we hope to propose with this bid coming back. And so if zone 1 at these rates takes 68,000 to do both cleaning and TVing, to propose that in the budget for the future. So we have money budgeted now that we haven't spent with, because we didn't have this contract. ProPipe got out of the business. And so we'll look to use those funds until July while we work out those other numbers.
Sorry, one more question. They have an emergency call out bid that they'll be available within 3 hours anytime, 4/7, 365. Like what does that look like? Like, why would we need them on an emergency basis?
We don't own the equipment for sewer backups, and that's part of your sanitary sewer management plan is how are you gonna deal with maintenance issues after hours or emergencies, collapsed pipe. So we have a couple of companies on rental.
Probably actually cheaper to contract it out than to own
Oh, yeah, those.
the machinery, have to maintain that. so.
Yes, those trucks, I don't know when North Ogden first got theirs, but
It's cheaper.
they run one truck. At some point, I'm sure you get to that point, but I don't believe Pleasant View's anywhere near it. It's millions of dollar
Yeah.
truck that I don't even know if we could pull it in our shop
Yeah.
currently for the size of them. And
Over this westerly, maybe.
Yeah, and you have to operate them in the sewer and I don't know if anybody's in a hurry to do
Yeah,
that,
that's just a lot of money.
till that
They're gonna-
cost
No.
ratio outbalances.
So what
I won't argue for it until it's worth a lot
what dollar
more.
amount are we approving for here then, or is it so much a year?
So we have it in there as up to the 50, that's what we've historically done. But I guess I'm asking to try to match with the budget in the future, but I can work through that now that I'll have the numbers and.
So if we award this, it's an ongoing?
Yes, it has extension options.
How long, until,
It's up to 3 additional years.
But
Or
there's a-
1 year extension. So essentially, so J Solutions is new since ProPipe left
Yeah.
the area. They happen to be, I know the two of them. I don't know how many other people that sort of picked up to fill that void and Valotter's been good. We've used both of them off and on for quick emergencies that have happened since losing the contract and either one of them we would have been fine with. They've been great to work with. We know them, that emergency call out's a big one. That was a big sticking point in past awards, because a lot of companies that won't come out on holidays and though this always has and is acknowledged that they're still willing to do those things.
So can I just clarify what I think we're doing here? We're approving J Solutions for up to $50,000 this year in our current budget and the capital sewer budget, with potential to keep them going with the same quote into next year's budget and beyond that.
Yes, and then if I have to do anything to change to match those zoning, I won't have to come back.
Okay, then. Yeah. We're just approving that rate. And we'll,
Okay.
we'll stop at that.
Thank you, Lauren.
We'll stop at that. Okay,
Back.
yeah. All right. That's what I thought we were doing. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion.
Meryl,
I
make,
have one.
you got it?
We have one.
No, we didn't have one yet. No.
Okay.
We're asking
Was the mayor asleep?
super
Yeah,
exciting
it was-
sewer
it was one
questions.
that- Yeah, that came
was-
up and before I could acknowledge the motion. yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yeah,
We
yeah.
had
Mayor, I'll
discussion.
make a motion that we approve the sewer maintenance projects to J Solutions.
I'll
I don't know.
second.
Motion by Marriott, second by Arrington. All in favor, say aye.
Okay.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All voted aye. Other business. Tyson, anything else? Tyson, night
We
tonight.
we made a new offer. They're gonna start Cinco de Mayo. Yes, so we'll be down to the 2 vacant positions. Kat Corbin, excited to have her. She's familiar with the water system from relatives or knows what I think she's getting into and we're looking forward to working with her and see how that goes. So try to get introductions out. We're now starting the stormwater audit with the state and putting together all the documents and it sounds like, yeah, you're gonna get written up. How many items there are is the part that you don't know until it's over, so. Be hard to get a hold of. Thanks for bearing with me tonight with these bigger items and trying to get all that in has been a task and I'm glad for the people I do have and your guys' support. We'll keep trying to make the best of it and meet all that's being asked with what we have. So thank you.
Andrea. mhm. All right.
Now, Rick Hatch, he's willing to come and talk to you guys about the upcoming election. You want him or their department to come, just
They're going to be doing it different or
nothing. Want to have them come.
I don't care to, but I mean, I love Ricky to pieces, but I don't know that we need to.
His office.
kind of, yeah. okay. Yeah, he's awesome. He does a great job. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Just super quick, pickleball wise, we are gonna meet with Brent Bailey and just kind of sit down and discuss everything line by line itemized. So that's kind of the next phase for that. Had yours already. I had a resident ask me how many dogs you can have in the city. I think that came up after that 150 dog thing in Ogden, but three. Okay.
3 per resident.
I just wanted.
Home.
home,
Three per
sorry,
home.
not resident.
Okay. And then one other thing just to put on the radar, had a resident just out since that pedestrian car accident on 400 West. Let's talk about like, could we consider putting sidewalk there? I know sometimes we have like safe routes to school grants, things like that. So just want to add that to our radar for 400.
Like from the 400 across Alberta or?
Down
across
from-
or-
So like, it would be just, Pleasant View Drive to Alberta, right there. There's no sidewalk all the way up that.
Oh, sidewalk, not cross.
Well, we're kind of looking at that whole project where we got a grant to get property acquisition going. And then we'll apply for another grant to widen it. And
Okay.
all that stuff.
Okay, okay, cool.
That was part of this stormwater project. There's a ton of pieces
yeah.
to it.
Okay,
We do have we did get approved this year or was it last year? I was thinking last year.
But it's
For
for next
27,
fiscal year, I think,
26.
for right away.
To start right away acquisition. Well, you got the whole list, I thought, so you don't have a photographic memory, I'm assuming. Okay.
That's all I've got.
All right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Sarah?
The Easter Canyon Drive went really great. There's
Yeah.
so many
Weather was
people.
good.
Yeah, and what was it, 5 minutes and it was done.
Yeah.
It always is.
So, but you know, a few $1,000s worth of candy, gone in 5 minutes. No, it went really well. If you guys want to come to the ending dinner for the new city council, I don't know if I sent out a thing.
Gotta check my schedule.
Okay. Cause actually it could be May 2nd or May 3rd. Do either one of those work better for you? It's a Friday night versus a Saturday.
Can't do either one, so. I'm going away till the 10th.
But just let me know if you want to come. And so, yeah, and it was originally May 3rd, which it still can be, but it would be Prairie Schooner instead of Timberline because Timberline's booked with prom. Oh.
First day ever. Yeah. So third was what you had planned originally.
Yes, so we can keep that, but it will be the Prairie Schooner. So.
Yeah,
Anyway,
put me down for that, either one.
okay.
I can do either night.
And you guys. And also I sent that thing about the
White Sea.
Hubert CPC,
Yeah,
if you want to go to the Timberline for that.
yeah.
Once again. I
But
will
that's
pay
our-
the bill.
that's-
I think that's April 29th.
Yes, the day I fly out,
Oh,
so.
I sent it to you too. Oh, yeah. You have mine. Yeah.
I might be out of town too.
Oh,
Are you-
all of you out of towners?
Is that it?
Yes, that's it,
Okay.
sorry.
Dave?
Yeah, the parks look great. For Easter looked really good. So thanks for doing that. I just wanted to let everybody know we have actually made the I don't know, invitation to be the Grand Marshals. So the Grand Marshals and the Grand Bike Parade leader, which we're gonna call,
We have a name for that.
I can't remember what he was very excited. I don't know if you changed it since you talked to Stetson or not. So,
No, it's the same.
traffic captain,
Traffic.
bike,
count.
bike parade traffic captain.
That's right.
So anyway, it's gonna be good. So everything's set up for that. We'll get their bios and everything for the newsletter. So yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Awesome.
Does your mom want a crown?
No, she does not want crown.
She gets a
I didn't
crown.
ask her that, but I can make that decision for her. I know what she would say.
She'd rather-
We're excited, they were excited to ride in the buggy and the horse-drawn carriage, so I think that would be good.
My mom has a background on horses. She's excited. She'll be excited about that. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah,
Okay.
so,
Awesome. All right, item 9, closed meeting. We have 3 closed meetings we need tonight.
You are.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I'm gonna say,
No closed meetings, so item 10.
my motion to adjourn still stands, Mayor.
I'll-
second it. Oh.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Put anybody down.
That's right. Rock, paper, scissors. All of us.
That was nice for Stetson and I.
That was great turnout too to me.
That was
So
very
fun.
nice. His kids' names are hilarious. Trip,
Trip.